I'll Be There for You, the one about friends, by Kelsey Miller. Read by Amber Benson. This is Kelsey Miller. Dedication for my friends. Introduction. The Sweet Spot. A few months ago, I walked into the gym, hopped on my usual machine, and thumbed the worn-out little button on the monitor up to channel 46. It was very early evening, a kind of magic hour at the gym. The place was packed, but oddly quiet, save for the whirring of the stationary bike wheels and rhythmic thumping of sneakers on the treadmill. Gyms in New York City have a reputation for being sceney and intimidating, full of athletic wonderkins and sweat-free medical marvels eyeing each other as they deadlift 1,000 pounds and do pirouettes in the mirror. On the whole, this reputation is shockingly true. But not at 5:30 p.m. At that hour of the day, all is calm and no one is judging. And every TV seems to be tuned into a basic cable channel as New Yorkers unwind with some cardio and reruns. That day, I walked in and saw the usual array of familiar faces lined up above high-tech machines. Some folks watched Grey's Anatomy. Others preferred Law & Order. Some even tuned into Family Guy right out in the open. Really, there's no judgment at 5:30. Personally, I always went right to Channel 46, where every afternoon, TBS ran Friends. I started this routine a few years prior, around the same time I started working out regularly. I was in my late 20s, and up until that point, exercise had been the kind of thing I did either obsessively or not at all. Like most young women, at least the ones I knew, I thought of working out as something you did to try and look better or to quote-unquote cancel out the $1 slice of pizza you ate on the street with your friends after 5 glasses of revolting wine. Now I'd entered a new phase of adulthood. I ordered the good pizza and ate it at home with my long-term boyfriend, and not too close to bedtime or we'd both need a Zantac. I exercised for actual health reasons, like a grown-up. It was boring and consistent, and I actually liked it. There were other things I didn't like about getting older, like always having to keep Zantac in the house. But the gym wasn't one of them, because there, every evening, I could turn on Friends and hop back in time for a moment. Channel 46 became the nostalgic escape hatch at the end of my grown-up workday. I would pedal away on the ARC trainer, watching the episode where Monica accidentally dated a teenager, or the one where Chandler got stuck in an ATM vestibule with Jill Goodacre. I didn't even know who Jill Goodacre was, really. I just knew she was Victoria's Secret model in the 90s, and rewatching the episode was like returning to an era when both she and Victoria's Secret were hot pop culture references. I never counted myself among the die-hard Friends fans, though of course I'd watched it. I was 10 years old when it debuted in 1994 and in college when it ended. During those years, it was one of the biggest shows on television. One of the biggest cultural events, period. And its enormous impact was baked into my DNA like radiation. I'd gotten the Rachel in middle school, I'd watched the finale with a group of weepy girlfriends, and if pressed, I could probably remember all the words to Smelly Cat. But that was base-level Friends knowledge, which was, frankly, hard to avoid having. The show was always there one way or the other. I'd find it on hotel room televisions in the middle of the night, or hear the theme song in a grocery store and get it stuck in my head for days. Friends became an easy reference point in conversation. You know, Adam Goldberg, Dazed and Confused? He was Chandler's creepy roommate with the goldfish? Yeah, that guy. I'd never owned the DVDs, but they always seemed to be around, either left by my old roommates or brought in by new ones. When the show came to Netflix on New Year's Day 2015, after months of hype, I tuned in for a hungover rewatch. So had all of my colleagues, I found out at work the next day. The true devotees hadn't even waited until morning. They'd started shortly after midnight and watched until sunrise. I enjoyed revisiting the episodes occasionally, but I assumed I was a Friends fan the way everyone kind of was. At first, the gym reruns were just an entertaining little addition to my cardio. Part of the fun, though, was watching it the old way, on actual television. I liked the inconvenience of it, even the commercials. I liked not being able to choose which episode I watched. One day, the one with the cake came on again, and I had a thought I hadn't had in years. Oh man, I just saw this one. Even the annoyance was a comforting throwback. Soon enough, I found myself timing my workouts to line up with the reruns. I knew the TBS schedule by heart, the distance between work and the gym, and the exact time I had to leave the office in order to make it in time. A few years later, I was a full-time freelancer working from home, and it became even easier.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?